How can we physiotherapists and rehabilitation professionals bring planetary health into action? I believe here, I think there are several elements. The first of all is actually to use the worldview. That means that it's no longer that we have an either or. It's either or human health or planetary health, but it's both and. So that means it's an intertwined connection between planetary health and human health. The other part is it has to be contextual. In contextual, I mean you have constantly to address both in all the encounters that we have and all ways of thinking. Sometimes that means parallel, sometimes it means semi-serial, more implicit, more explicit, but at least that both elements are always there as an intertwined whole. What does this mean practical? Practical means that we have this in different levels. First of all, in the way we act. That means that every action we do as a healthcare professional, as physiotherapist in a rehab, that we act ecological responsible. We try to limit the amount of waste that we have. We use ecological friendly materials and we promote active transportation. It's also in the way of words that we use. So the moment that we use words, we want to make them ecological or into connection with the world. That means, for example, when we use metaphors in explaining, that we go away from the mechanical metaphors and more into natural metaphors. As an example, for example, in pain. In pain, sometimes people say that pain signals, they drive to the human body as kind of telephone signals. But we also can say they are more like the roots of a tree or the water in small elves, small rivers. The other part is in the techniques that we use. The moment that we use techniques in rehabilitation, we can use them otherwise mostly as nature-based, being in nature, so in the connection. Sometimes when it is not possible that we use natural materials inside or indoors, small bits, then we can also go into kind of from hiking and being in nature to kind of gardening or just potting a new flower into a pot and seeing how it works. Or even an ICU, in a care unit, that we think about how can we use a technique that we at least involve sensory senses of the environment. That might be water, air, or maybe natural elements. And the last bit is the dialogue. We have to be in dialogue with the patient, that whatever we do is a constant consequence on the nature and on our health. So that intertwinedness comes from, and that every consultation will count. How can we better collaborate to bring planetary health into action? Of course, I don't know, because I would love to know the answer. But if I am able to think about it a bit, I would say, first of all, we have to break down the silos and start moving on different layers. That means the different silos of the different professions and the different fields of knowledge has to combine and connect with each other. At the same time, we have to work on different layers. That means on the layer of patient towards levels of group or society. The other part is that we have to find a participatory approach, which means that we have to include different people with different kind of backgrounds, from cultural backgrounds, but also people with diverse abled people, so that we think about how they think and how they connect and how they experience, so that we do it all together. And I think one of the last parts which might be very interesting is to use foresight and scenario building, that we move into different scenarios of plausible and even also ridiculous scenarios, but at least it will help us to stretch our mind and to find strategies together how we can proceed and also how to test. These might be ways to proceed and looking towards the future.